Go Mouse Scouts, episode 130. You're listening to Go Mouse Scouts, where we're dedicated to helping you and your kids have a great time at the Disney parks, whether you're just starting out or a seasoned pro. My name is Kris.
And I'm Megan.
And this episode, we are giving a review of the River Belle Terrace and the Fantasmic dining package. So let's get on into it.
Well, we just did this a couple days ago. Fantasmic opened, a week ago? And we knew we wanted to see it, but we usually don't make it that late in the parks. Like, we're usually out of there sometime between 2 and 7. 7's a late night for us.
Yeah.
But we wanted to make sure we got to see Fantasmic this time. So we, instead of being there for rope drop like we usually would do, we headed out at lunchtime. It pretty much took us the whole time to get down there and then get through security and all that. Like, we were running for our reservations at 4:40.
And we had to maneuver ourselves around a parade as well.
Yes.
What was it? The Soundsational Parade? I love the music,
which
though.
the kids enjoyed, watching as we were busy scurrying down the street. But
it was a delightful, frantic jaunt.
Yeah. Thank goodness for grace periods, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, we got there maybe like 10 minutes late.
Yeah, 10 minutes late.
I mean, just like by the skin of our teeth. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But let's talk about what the package is first of all.
Okay, so the package involves picking it's a 3-course meal from a fixed menu, and it's for a fixed price. It's $45 for adults and $25 for kids. And you get this 3-course meal. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of the meal, when you pay, you get fast passes for preferred seating for Fantasmic.
Right. And
you come back about half an hour to an hour before the show. I would definitely recommend coming back closer to an hour before, so you can get a little bit better, a little bit closer to the river than...
so you can get into the poncho seats?
Yes, But, if you want to be sure that you get good seating, if you want to not have to sit down 3 hours ahead of time to try and get decent seating,
right?
It was definitely worth it, and especially when you consider the value of the food. I mean, the menu price for the entree alone runs in the $20 range. I mean, let's see here. I have it right here, and there goes my phone.
We're leaving that in.
So entrees range between $19 and $24. And on top of that, you get a starter, which is around $6 to $8. And then a dessert that's around $8 also. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, the food itself, you don't end up paying that much more than you would have just for the food.
Right.
To get the Fast Pass deal as well.
So now, obviously, we're talking about the River Belle Terrace. Is this kind of a meal deal available at any of the other restaurants?
Blue Bayou has it also.
Okay.
It's more expensive there.
Okay.
It's $65 for adults, and I don't remember what it is off the top of my head for kids. I do know that it's probably $25 also, because when I priced it out, it was going to be about $40 more than going to River Belle Terrace. Mm-hmm. There's also their on-the-go option, which for our family was going to be about $40 less than going to River Belle Terrace, which is where you get to go pick up a packaged meal from Hungry Bear.
Okay, kind of a boxed
kind of a box.
Deal.
And so you can, you could sit down and eat it there at Hungry Bear, or you could take it somewhere else in the park. You could save it for later. I don't know, whatever you want to do with it.
Right. Okay. So, now, I mean, you gave like the actual values of the menu items that we were talking about. And for the River Belle Terrace, the prices was it $45 per adult and $25 per kid. And you get the 3-course meal, and you get preferred seating for Fantasmic. at one of the showings. So let's talk about the items that we got. So what was the thing you got?
I got the half chicken.
Okay. Which it was funny because you got it and you looked at it and you're like, "Yep, that's a half a chicken."
Yeah, it was like literally,
it was big.
Chicken split down the side or split down the middle. It came with baked beans, and then you got a choice of coleslaw, potato salad,
or
something else, or tots. Well, she said potato bits, which turned out to be tater tots.
Yeah,
with like extra seasoning, and they were really good. That's what I got.
I got to say, because what I got with mine was coleslaw, and then I saw them bring hers, and I saw the tots, and I was like, "Oh, dude, I totally should have got the tots." But I know that you don't like coleslaw, so I couldn't have traded. You know,
right.
So tell us what you liked about your dinner.
Well, it was all very good. I mean, the beans had just the right amount of bacon and slight sweetness to them, and the tater tots had some kind of extra seasoning in like the batter or whatever, and so it was like they didn't need ketchup or anything like that to and give them a little extra oomph. And the chicken was well flavored as well. Prior to getting those foods, of course, we had the starter, which you get a choice between a corn chowder or their house salad, which has it's arugula, apple, gorgonzola, dried cranberries, candied pecans, and it's served with either an apple vinaigrette or a house ranch dressing. And
it was amazing.
Well, I didn't. I tried it.
I loved it.
I hate arugula. So, that was just not going to be. But I'm not a fan of chowder either. So, it was like, well, I'll get this and I'll try it. And I did. I tried it. I did ask for it with ranch, and I think I got it with the apple vinaigrette, but I would have helped.
I would have tried the chowder, but I mean, it was a hot day already. And, like soup on a hot day, it just didn't.
No, see, I can do soup on a hot day.
You could do soup on a hot day.
It's just I don't do chowder.
Yeah. So the item that I got, let's see, where's that at? It was the beef brisket sandwich. And it's smoked provolone with fried onions, served on toasted onion hoagie with steak sauce, mayo, and served with their signature baked beans and your choice of the additional side. The sandwich was really, really good. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was an excellent choice. I was very satisfied with that. And of course, I also love coleslaw. And that was really good too. It was kind of a little bit of a spicier coleslaw, like I don't know, like maybe they put like some sriracha or something in it. But I know some places will put like horseradish, and it had a kind of a kick to it, and I really enjoyed that. So,
yep. And then you got a dessert.
Yes.
And they offer 3 choices for dessert. One is the butterscotch pudding parfait, which is something that's on the regular menu. Mm-hmm. The other 2 items, though, are specific to the Fantasmic dinner package. And that was the strawberry shortcake, which is what you had.
Mm-hmm. Which was really good.
Except that Kit mostly ate it because it turns out he doesn't like butterscotch pudding.
Yep. But the strawberry shortcake was kind of a like a biscuit kind of thing, cut in half, with strawberries on it, and I want to say like a whipped cream, but it wasn't a whipped cream. It was a little thicker and not as sweet. I don't know if that would be like a custard or something. I don't know. Probably something a little more high end or something. Yeah. But it was very tasty. Both Kit and I enjoyed it. And your dessert was a little surprising.
I had the Maleficent Dragon Fantasmic dessert. And it was surprising. So it's like this purple dome, so it's got this purple, I don't know, this like gel covering stuff. And inside it was a chocolate, not mousse, but chocolate something. but it had this filling inside of that even that was a little spicy.
Right.
And that was a surprise.
It was probably a ganache.
Ganache, yes.
I don't know.
See, I'm only familiar
I hear that
with
word all the time.
Well, because Cupcake Wars.
Right.
Yeah, we don't bake. I don't know what ganache really is, but it also
good.
had this like strawberry and mango like sauce that was on the plate that was really good too with it. And then it had white chocolate flames on the sides, stuck to the sides, and a dragon printed on a white chocolate piece on the top. So I gave the flames to the kids, but Teddy wanted the dragon, and I said, no, I'm eating this myself.
Yeah. Yep.
But the spiciness of the center filling was a surprise.
Yeah.
But I mean, dragon themed dessert. I mean, it was great.
It really went well with the theme of the whole thing. I mean, Fantasmic isn't a new show. I mean, if you've been to Disneyland and you've been there at night, chances are you've seen it. And so it's no surprise there's a dragon in it. And, so it was really cool that they actually created this dessert to go with the show specifically. But then, they have the little surprise of the kick to it, and it wasn't over the top. Megan was gracious enough to let me have a taste of it as well. And it was subtle, but it was a kind of a fun, nice surprise, So
it was something I didn't really notice until like I'd had a few bites of the center, and then I was like, wait a minute, my mouth is burning a little bit.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yep.
So,
what were some of the other menu items?
Well, so the items that they have on their normal menu, which include pork spare ribs, which I would have gone for if I wasn't holding a baby, but finger foods when you're only have one hand part of the time, not so great.
Right. These were items on the fixed menu though, too, right?
Yeah, these were items on the fixed menu, but these are also their regular items. So they do have, like, you can go on to Disneyland's website and look at the menu and see, descriptions of what these things are. The fried chicken sandwich, the pulled pork sandwich, there's a catch of the day, sustainable fish. There's oven roasted sausage link combo and a barbecue tofu. And then, of course, the half chicken and the beef brisket sandwich.
Right. Yeah.
Now for kids, the kids menu, they had 4 options. They had the kids mac and cheese, the kids barbecue ribs, and then 2 Mickey Check meals. This Mickey Check, of course, has to do with the meeting certain nutritional guidelines. And those were the oven roasted chicken and a sustainable fish. And all of these come with a seasonal vegetable and fruit. And then they get a drink with it. And then because this is the Fantasmic meal, it's a 3-course meal for them too. They start off with a plate of veggies and dip. Basically,
they get like a crudité or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Basically, they get 2 carrot sticks and 2 celery sticks and 2 cucumber sticks.
With ranch.
So it's small. Again, if you have an older child, there might not be enough food in one of these. We really tried to convince Jenny because she's outgrowing the kids' menus at a lot of places, not just Disney. And we tried to convince her to get something more than the mac and cheese because I'm thinking the mac and cheese is going to be the thing with the smallest portion size.
Right.
Oh, no. She had to have the mac and cheese. She didn't want anything else. She had to have the mac and cheese. So, okay, hopefully she can get enough off of her brother's plates as well to feed herself.
Yeah.
And that ended up working out.
It came out in the wash.
She did get enough to eat by, stealing food from her brother's plates when they weren't going to finish stuff.
Right.
But they had these the vegetables and dip that came out, first, and then their meals, which is a fairly smallish bowl of macaroni and cheese. Along with, I think they had grapes, and I can't remember for the life of me what vegetable they had.
It was green beans.
It was green beans.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
It was green beans.
Now, the vegetables that came first, our kids usually like carrots, but Kit, our second child, took a bite of one of the carrots and said it didn't taste very good. And I took a bite and it kind of tasted like it may have been marinated in something or something. So
And usually he loves carrots.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. It didn't taste. It tasted modified somehow, and he didn't like that. So, that's something to consider if your kids have kind of a finicky taste, or they're
Like
used
Kit.
to something tasting a certain way. That might cause a little pause or whatever. But everything else was good. And like we mentioned, Ginny finished Teddy's mac and cheese, and
she ate most of their veggies with dip, and
she had some of my baked beans also. I mean, our adult plates, we had plenty of stuff. I mean, I was full, you were full, and we still had some left over, and they even took some of the food back with them, So, and when you consider having the dessert and stuff as well, that's it. You're done.
Now, the kids' dessert is the butterscotch pudding parfait. It's not the full-size parfait that the adults get. It's a smaller dish of it. Like we said, Kit did not care for the butterscotch pudding. So Daddy shared his strawberry shortcake and ate Kit's butterscotch pudding in return.
I love that pudding. It was very, very good.
I thought it was good. I tried it. So yeah, it was good. And the other two kids, of course, ate it without any complaint. They were just like, yes, dessert.
Yes, please, more.
Yeah. So that was good. Now, Teddy is still under 3. So he does not need a fast pass to sit, with us for the Fantasmic things. So when we got seated, when our waitress came and took our drink order, I told her, that he was under 3. We didn't need the Fantasmic meal package for him. We just wanted to buy his, meal off the menu.
Yeah, they still tried to charge us for it.
That was an accident.
It was an accident.
Forgot,
she took it off, and
she ended up comping us his meal overall even.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, we didn't. So she, she apologized when she brought us the bill, and then I looked at it and there were 3 charges for, and of course, when I'm looking at spending $9 for the kids' meal versus $25 because it's got the, Fantasmic thing, I was like, yeah. Obviously we need to, mention this. And so I was concerned at first that because sometimes they have policies like everybody at the table has to be, getting the menu or getting the package or whatever. So I was concerned at first that was the case, but it wasn't at all. She just had forgotten, oh yeah, we served 3 kids meals. So it's 3, Fantasmic dinner meals. And then, like I said, she took the bill, let me take it. No, I'm so sorry. Let me take it and go take care of it. And she ended up comping us his meal, which was nice because I don't think he ate most of it anyway.
No, Ginny did.
Ginny did. It is always so hard to tell with toddlers. Are you going to eat 1 bite this time? Or are you going to eat the whole thing and still be hungry?
Or
I don't know.
Are you going to eat 1 bite, or are you going to leave 1 bite? Yeah. So there was another thing also that I wanted to mention about the River Belle Terrace. When we went there and we were getting there for our reservation time, they asked us if we wanted to be seated inside or outside. And you're thinking being seated inside, it's going to be cooler, air conditioned and stuff.
Yeah, it was 80 something outside. And
yeah.
We were sweating because we had been
huffing it
over to get our reservations. But I don't know if the air conditioner inside is just not up to snuff or what, but it was
muggy in there.
It was warm.
And it was also really loud.
Right.
It was a small enclosed place. If it was bigger, it probably would have been better. But like a small enclosed place with, they were filling it with people, obviously, and they're going to want to try and get as many people in there. And so, voices echoing, people talking loud and stuff. It was really hard to understand each other when we were talking. And also our youngest, Roddy, was kind of having a hard time as well.
And it didn't help that I had lost my voice by that point after a full week of teaching classes. So I'm having to repeat everything I can say at my top volume, which isn't very loud, 5 or 6 times. It was, the noise level was frustrating. In retrospect, we would have chosen to sit outside.
It would have been cooler and we would have been more comfortable.
Would have had a breeze, been seated in the shade. It wouldn't have been so loud. I mean, of course it's loud outside, especially you're right across from Pirates, right next to a very narrow, crowded, busy area. But, the noise can travel further away and it's not bouncing off of things and coming back to you. So it would have been, in retrospect, we would have sat outside.
And the other thing is having a toddler who is still potty training means that during the course of our dinner, I had to get up and take him to the restroom 2 times.
Right.
Which meant going through the exit door of the restaurant, which was close-ish to the bathrooms, right? But coming back, you couldn't go back in that door.
Now, which bathrooms did they direct you to go to?
The ones in Frontierland, by the Tiki Room.
Oh, Adventureland.
Sorry, yeah.
So the ones right at the entrance of Adventureland.
Yes, yeah.
So they said those are the closest
they said those
bathrooms.
Were the closest. And so I wasn't able to go back in through the exit door to the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
They have that locked from the outside, and there's a sign that says you need to go around to the front in order to go in, which meant I had to go all the way around to the front to go back in. Twice. So, yeah, that was a little annoying.
Teddy was on a restroom tour that trip.
Yes.
This was our first trip since he's been potty trained. So I guess the excitement or something, but yeah, he was constantly needing to go to the bathroom.
So let's talk about Fantasmic.
Let's
think
talk
there's anything
about
else
where we got to sit and everything with that. I mean,
that's part of Fantasmic. I'm grouping this from the restaurant experience to the show experience.
Got it.
So
Fantasmic started at 9:00, and they told us, our ticket says to be there between 8 and 9, and our waitress told us to be there around 8:30. I would strongly recommend you come closer to 8, because by the time we got there, I mean, it was pretty crowded. They had to have people, scoot forward to make room, and which, continued to happen a couple times before the show actually started. But it would have been nice to be even a little bit closer to the front and not, stuck where we got great seating. We were right in front of Pirates. We were basically front and center to the whole show, like right across from the main stage. It was great.
Yeah.
And we were in the area that's right up against the water. We were not personally right up against the water. We were at the back of that area, but we were right there. They had us enter. We had to go down to the Haunted Mansion, and they had us enter down there along the rivers, like when you come around to the front. But then we had to continue walking all the way down. And every cast member that we came across, we showed them our oh, keep going. Oh, keep going. We're like, dude, when is this going to end? And then we finally get to one cast member who says, okay, keep going. And the next cast member you see, he'll show you where to sit.
And there was no cast member.
There's nobody there. We're like, okay, now what? Turns out he was dealing with another people trying to come in or something. I don't know. And we're looking, and we're like, we're going to be sitting here where there's no room to sit. So they had everybody, scoot forward, and
they're good at manipulating crowds.
Oh, they are.
You gotta give
they know
them
how
that.
to try and jam as many people into one place as possible. They have it down to a science,
because it all comes down to money.
Yeah, of course.
And we gladly give it, don't we?
And even though they had us scoot forward and stuff, we weren't too crowded.
No. We were kind of by the back end of our section, which meant even when we had been scooting forward, there weren't many. There wasn't really anybody behind us directly, so we were able to kind of scoot back a little bit more and kind of open up our area a little bit once the show had started. So that was cool. So yeah, I mean, we had wonderful seats. It was a little took us a little bit to get there, and you'll want to get there a little bit earlier than they suggest you do. I think we're ready to start to talk about the show now. They've improved it. They've plussed the show. Now, if you haven't been reading on the internet as to what they've changed about the show and you want to be surprised, you'll probably want to skip ahead a few minutes. We're going to talk about some of the differences from what Fantasmic was to how they've changed it and some of the improvements they've made. So if you want to be surprised, go ahead and skip ahead a few minutes. So there is your spoiler alert warning. I don't know if it's really necessary, but hey, some people might thank us for that.
Well, I have to say I was very impressed with the changes in the projection on the water screens or whatever. In the past, I've found that those were often hard to see.
Right.
It seemed like the mist or whatever, the water screen
kind of diffused the picture.
It wasn't really firm enough, I guess.
It wasn't sharp.
The images weren't sharp, but they also faded out a lot as it got further up the screen.
Oh, okay. The screen of
images,
water.
Yeah, the images on the screen of water were, even though they weren't sharp, they were much clearer towards the bottom than, towards the top. They fixed that issue.
Yeah.
The water screens seem to be larger. Maybe it's just been a long time since we've seen Fantasmic, but they seem to be larger and much more dense.
What do you mean dense?
Well, I don't know how else to explain it. It's like instead of trying to project it on mist, which doesn't have any firmness to it, they actually had like sheets of water that it was projecting on.
Okay, so there weren't any like gaps in the water, you mean?
Well,
Well, the overall effect was that the images projected onto the water were much sharper and much more easy to figure out what the picture is. Easier to see.
It was like seeing it on a screen. I mean, It was like way, 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 way better.
It was really amazing, and also they were able to project images onto like the house backdrop on the island there, which was cool, which lended itself well to Mickey doing his magical thing and stuff, and it was kind of more of a full picture of magic that he was creating. The choreography for Mickey was a little different. Instead of him looking like he was like directing like an orchestra or like directing the water or something, I don't know, it seemed like maybe his gestures were intended to be more magical or something instead of like directing. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, the showman in me, right? But yeah, and they changed out some of the scenes. As many of us know, they took out the Peter Pan scene on the Columbia ship and changed that to Pirates of the Caribbean, which I thought it looked awesome.
Yeah, I mean they actually looked like skeletons and stuff.
Yeah, and it was cool seeing Captain Jack Sparrow like swinging from the ropes and the whole dialogue that they had going with him, and I think it was probably Elizabeth Swann. And just like the whole banter between them, it was fun and playful. It was a fun little scene.
Yeah. The cannons were surprising at first when the cannon went off the first time.
But it was surprising also when it was Peter Pan too.
Well, yeah.
It started off with a cannon fire, and they did that this time as well.
Yes.
So
still surprising.
Yep. Jump scare.
Our kids found it loud. They found the whole show to be loud, and I think they would have enjoyed it more if we had brought earplugs.
Oh, okay. That's a good point.
Or those kid earmuffs, ear cover things that are kind of becoming popular right now. I especially think that Ginny would have benefited quite greatly from them.
Yeah,
because the boys were
sensory.
Yeah, the boys were able to enjoy it even though it was loud. They just put their hands over their ears and they were like fine with that. But I think Ginny would have enjoyed it more if she had ear covering or earplugs or something. So something to keep in mind if you have young children, that the show might be too loud for their Their sensitive hearing.
Some of the other things they changed, they added Lion King into the thing. There were some projection scenes of Lion King. They also added in the princesses scene Rapunzel replacing Snow White.
Mm-hmm.
What else was there?
The pink elephants.
Yeah,
there's no more dancing pink elephants. I mean, they're still on the screens.
No more Pinocchio either.
Right, no more Pinocchio. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen actual previous Fantasmic.
Yeah, and which kind of brings us to something we didn't necessarily like. Which this is something you mentioned to me earlier, was that sometimes it seems like they're taking out some of the skilled actors and putting more projection,
right?
Autonomous stuff,
in other shows and stuff too. It just seems like sometimes they get rid of the actors, they get rid of the skilled, performers,
the life of the show
in favor of putting in more technology.
There's got to, I mean, it's a balance,
Yeah.
And sometimes it feels like they're leaning more toward the technology side of things, whereas they should be maybe leaning the other way toward more of the live, artistic, skilled craftsman, live performance.
Yeah. But overall, the show was great. My favorite part is always the end, the Mark Twain with all the characters on it dancing.
Yeah. I'm sure you got a little something in your eye at that point, right?
I enjoy seeing, who all's up there? Which characters do they have?
Of course, led by Steamboat Willie,
yes,
at the helm.
That's great.
Which is so cool. I love that. And then the other cool thing is they let you stay in your spot if you're in the first showing and they're doing the fireworks show that night. They let you stay for the fireworks show, and as an added bonus, they put one of their projection screens of fans of water, and they project the images that they project on the castle onto the water.
Yeah, that was a surprising bonus. The fireworks show takes place it starts 10 minutes after Fantasmic ends or something. So you could hustle over there, but to the be in front of the castle, but you're not going to be right in front of the castle. You're not going to get the greatest spot to stand over there. You're going to be way at the back of the crowd. And of course, from the fireworks itself perspective, you're going to get a better view from being in front of the castle, because that's kind of where everything is geared towards, being able to see it from.
Yeah.
But it was really neat because I had heard that they were doing projections on the castle and stuff, and I was thinking, well, it's too bad that we'll miss that. We're not going to be able to see that. So to see that they actually, put up the water fan screen thing and had the projections there, that was really cool.
Yeah.
That was really, so really then it felt like the only thing that we were really missing was getting to see, Tinkerbell flying.
Yep.
Which we could sort of barely make her out through the trees, but by the time that we were trying to point it out to the kids, they were like, what? Done. Huh? Where?
Yep. Exactly.
No, I didn't see that flash of green through between those branches.
And the other cool thing is, and this isn't something that Megan really noticed, but as we know, at Walt Disney World, they ended the fireworks show Wishes, right? And so for our fireworks show, they actually have, the Wishes song kind of as bookends to the thing, the beginning and the end, and kind of woven through a tiny bit. But it's the whole show is more of a look at kind of like classic Disneyland and like the history of it and stuff like that. And what is it? I think it's called like Dreams Do Come True or something like that. But it was cool to hear the Wishes music, at the beginning and the end of it, kind of as an homage as to what's no longer at Disney World. So if you miss Wishes and, you want to see a fireworks show with some of the music, come on out to Disneyland because, part of it lives on there. So, yeah.
The fireworks were pretty cool. We didn't end up seeing fireworks this year, 4th of July, so it was nice to get to see fireworks. Yeah.
Right. It reminds me of a meme that I saw. What was it? It was something like one of my friends posted it on their wall on 4th of July, saying this is the day where all Disney fans go out to their local fireworks displays and watch it and go, meh. So and I'm just not big with crowds anyway, especially when you got to leave like right after and like be stuck in like 45 minutes of traffic just to get home like 2 miles away or whatever on the 4th of July and being around drunk people. And it's just like, so, but, so yeah. So overall, what do you think of the package? Do you think it was worth it?
I think it was. We got a good meal. We got a good meal that filled us up. Mm-hmm. I do think that the kids portion maybe is a little overpriced.
Yeah. Or maybe they could give a little bit more with it.
Mm-hmm. Comparatively, the adults, like I was saying, the what you would pay if you were just going in there and getting the food and not the package for this basic same food, it wasn't actually that much less than the package was. Mm-hmm. But the kids, the $9 mac and cheese plate and, how much could those other two things have been? Yeah. Really, and yet it's $25 for the kids. I think
pennies on the dollar.
Well, I think that it would have been better to price out the kids package at maybe like $20, $18 or $20. I think would have been a better value.
Yeah,
but of course we didn't go for value. We went to make sure that we could see Fantasmic without sitting down 3 hours ahead of time.
There is tremendous value in that alone.
Yeah, it's not something that we'll do again anytime soon, but definitely, I think that it was worth it.
Absolutely. I would tend to agree. So there you go. I think that's a pretty completely rounded out review of our entire experience. So take that for what it's worth. If you have any other questions, you know where to find us. Yeah. Where would that be?
Well, let's see. I know we're on Facebook.
Yep. We have our Facebook group. You can find that at gomousescouts.com/Facebook. You can feel free to email us, fun@gomousescouts.com. We're also on Twitter as well, @GoMouseScouts. And while you're at it, and still learning to talk like I am, check out our brand new ebook. It's our guide to visiting Disneyland with young kids and still have a great time, which you can find on our website as well. So right now, through September, we've extended it. We're going to still have it at $5.99. So check it out. I think you guys will find a lot of value in it, and we hope it helps a lot of people. So thank you everybody so much for listening. Please get in touch, and we will see you in the next episode. Take care.
Disney 98. Papa, what is